If you're looking for some of the best spells in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, then look no further than my top 5 legendary spells. Yo guys, what's going on? It's your boy Kilroy, bringing you yet another top 5 legendary item guides in Wonderlands. In today's one, we'll be taking a look at some of the best spells within the game. So enough messing about, let's jump on into the video. So just like in the top 5 legendary weapons video, I'm not ranking these spells in order from best to worst. These are just some of my top picks from the legendary spells we have so far in Wonderlands. Alrighty, so to start us off, we have the Buffmaster. This Miraculum spell is a world drop only, meaning it can drop from every enemy in the game. Now, I know I said I wouldn't rank these, but if I were to rank these spells, I believe this one would take the top spot, as the Buffmaster isn't your typical spell. It actually increases your critical hit chance by 100% while buffing your weapon damage at the same time. This spell also deals a status effect element damage of whichever element your spell actually drops in. So if you get a Jacketive Buffmaster, for example, your gun will be dealing frost damage. Now, the Buffmaster actually works well with any character build. However, I think it really shines with the Spell Shot class. Using the Ambihextrous action skill will actually allow you to use 2 spells, making this perfect for a dual wield Buffmaster damage buff. Onto the Twister. This Conjurer spell can be found by killing the story boss, the Banshee. It also has a world drop and can be found from the loot bunnies at the end of a Chaos Chamber run. Now this spell comes with a 20% increase in spell damage, a 19% decrease to cooldown rate, and adds an extra 15 projectiles per spell cast. With the addition of a 17% chance of doing 70 damage per second lightning status effect damage. Now, the unique features of this spell is the a ragdoll ability. So upon spellcast, it forms shards of projectiles in a horizontal twister-like manner, throwing any enemy, it's a tongue twister, in its path all over the place, leaving them incapacitated. Now, you want to leave yourself plenty of room while casting this to use it to its full potential. Now, the Twister doesn't have like the best damage out of all the spells, however, more than makes up for it with this, with its fun to use in-game ability, I guess. Now, let's talk about the Threads of Fate. This is an Arcan channel cast spell, meaning hold to cast. Now, this spell can be farmed from the Obelisk boss Lesia over at Crackmask Cove area. Alternatively, it may actually drop as a world drop, or you can farm it from the loot bunnies in the Chaos Chamber. Now this spell will summon a floating orb which slowly moves, sending out beams of dark magic damage, like leeching their health and giving it to you. The spell works best with slow and large enemies, however some of the more faster enemies in-game will be able to dodge the beams, but the spell more than makes up for it with its ability to drop with charges and has a fast recharge rate. I believe this spell works well if you're spec'd into the dark magic leech build. So the Glacial Cascade is one of my favorite spells in game right now. It's manufactured by Conjurer and is a fire and forget spellcast. It can be found by farming the loot bunnies at the end of a Chaos Chamber run, but can also world drop as well, so I recommend doing extended Chaos Chamber runs for the best chances of getting this spell to drop. So the spell actually comes with a 20% increased damage, 10% decrease to cooldown rate with an additional 2 projectiles per cast, and will only come in the frost element, dealing an incredible 864 damage per second with a 6% status effect chance. Now, as for what the spell does, once cast, giant ice spikes will pierce through the ground in a long line, dealing quite a hefty amount of damage to anyone in its path. And again, all these spells can come with additional charges and projectiles, it's just the luck of the drop. Now last but not least is the Tiebreaker. This spell is manufactured by Miraculum and comes with the new Cold Captors DLC, so if you don't have the new DLC, unfortunately this spell will not be available to you. So to get the spell, you want to come to the Dreamvale Overlook and complete the first and second mirror challenges. Once complete, the new DLC loot will actually become available to farm from the loot bunnies like most other spells. The Tidebreaker is a self-cast spell, meaning it casts around you and fires out a small tidal wave that will send enemies back and soak them for a duration. Now, making enemies soaked, they actually take a whopping 150% increased damage to lightning or frost damage weapons. Now, I don't have to tell you guys that come like Chaos level 20 and higher, buffs like these will actually become increasingly more important. That's why I have this spell on the list over something like the Dazzler or Frozen Orb spells. Now there is one honorable mention to touch on quickly, and that is the legendary Marshmallow spell. It's a Conjurer spell that will shoot out a large toasted marshmallow sticking to an enemy for a duration and then exploding, dealing damage to a target, while also splitting off into 4 to 5 smaller chunks that will actually heal you. Now, this spell isn't really practical in high chaos levels, but against regular mobs, it is a fun little spell that I thought I'd just chuck in here for the lols. Anyway guys, that's going to be it for this top 5 legendary spells guide video. If you're enjoying these videos, be sure to check out my top 5 legendary weapons guide. And as always, be sure to drop a like on the video and consider subscribing for more Wonderlands content. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you never miss a future upload of mine. And until next time guys, peace.